Oh man, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. My name is Eddie Transcendent. With me is DNAV.
Yes, yes.
And this is the CT Land Soundtrack podcast right here at Top Station. I'm super excited. Everybody who's watching on Facebook, we do appreciate the support, the love. Please keep watching, keep sharing. We do appreciate it. And of course, we all know who's behind the camera. The one, the only, Gina. Gina, shout so we can hear you.
Hey guys.
Gina.
Oh man, I'm super excited, man. I'm super excited. We're finally back on here, back on the air.
Yeah.
I definitely got to turn those off.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm super excited. I feel like it's been forever, bro.
Feels good back. It feels good to hear our voices back.
Right? Yeah, that's how back conceited.
I know. I was gonna say a little conceited, but it's all right.
It feels good to hear my voice again. No, definitely, man. I'm definitely super excited. So I'm looking at my screensaver. It's like winter. It's making me sad right now, but I'm gonna have to work on that.
Oh, we have to change that. What happened?
Change that.
That was your homework. You gotta go to bed.
I ended up going to get my dog and forget it. I ended up sitting over there for a little while, and you know how that goes. I got here late, started watching the game. But anyways, without further ado, this is the Land Soundtrack, the Connecticut Land Soundtrack podcast on Top Station. I'm your host, Eddie Transcendent, of course, the co-host, DJ DNB. And I think before we get started with anything, I just want to take a few seconds out to just do a quick shout out. Truth be told, we all started in one place. The Land Soundtrack started in one place. We were given an opportunity over at pprnradio.net. And so I want to take this time out just to give a shout out to pprnradio.net, give a shout out to Peter Penho, Ricky, the whole crew over there, and just say thank you for kind of giving us kind of that I don't know, the platform to get us started. We do appreciate the support and the help they've given us since then. For those of you watching, you noticed that we're not at PPR Radio. We're actually at Top Station. But again, I just wanna give a shout out to Peter and to the crew and say thank you for everything you've done. Hopefully you're watching, and we'll talk soon, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's the best way to go, man.
Stay in touch. Yes.
Definitely always gotta stay humble and respectful and always be thankful for the opportunities that we're given. I think too often we take opportunities for granted and we just run with it and we never look back and say, yo man, homeboy, homegirl, this guy, that girl, mom, dad, somebody give me an opportunity, you know? And I think that the best thing that we can do is do that. And I'm sure that Gina agrees. I'm gonna have to give Gina a mic.
Yes.
Gina, I'm gonna get you a mic. I'm gonna get you like a mic that you can hold on to.
Okay.
I see you. You're about to be tired. Anyways, what you been up to, man?
Not much. Same. I'm glad everyone's tuning in again.
Yes, definitely.
For those that were wondering where we were, what happened, maybe some didn't know, some did.
Yes.
We're here. We're back.
Yes, we're back.
Like Eddie said, we started off at PPRN.
Yes.
And now we're back.
Yes,
so,
we're back. We're at Top Station. We have great things coming. A lot of
try to tune in, keep following us, keep liking everything.
Yes.
And, yeah.
A lot of podcasts coming. So please keep listening, keep watching, all that good stuff. Everything's great. But without further ado, and you guys might notice that we're, if you guys are watching on Facebook, you notice that we're drinking a little wine. We're celebrating. This is the first show here at Top Station. So we're super excited. This is the first of many shows, many podcasts, many shows here at Top Station. So we're super excited. I have my closest people here with me. I have Danny with me, Danny V. I got Gina with me. Rosa's here. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Hey,
she's definitely.
I'm not ready to cry yet, man.
But okay.
You gotta let me finish this.
There's no crying here.
There's no crying at Top Station. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest for the evening. This guest for me is very special for many reasons that people on Facebook may know of and people listening may know of. But the main reason I think today that she's special to me is because she's like one of the biggest supporters of the Land Soundtrack since day one. Since like I told her about this before I even talked to PPRN about it. I said, listen, I got an idea. I want to do this, and the other. And of course, she was like, well, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, make sure you have your teeth crossed and your eyes dotted or whatever. But she's been the biggest supporter since then, and she's been supporting what we were over at PPRN. And through the whole building of this station, she's been supporting.
I know, we finally have her as a guest now.
Yeah. So who better to have as a guest, as the first guest here at Top Station than the one and the only, Rosa Flores, Rosa's here. Rosa, as you guys saw on Facebook and on other social media, you know, great, tremendous mother, businesswoman for many, many years, business owner. She owns the Latin Rhythm Dance Studio in Stratford, and it's so much more. You know, definitely an inspiration for her children, for other children, for women. Not only in Bridgeport, Stratford, Fairfield County area, but in Connecticut and the world as a whole. You know, anytime you have a woman who comes from, you know, the background that we come from, and to be successful and to be doing great things and to be always giving back is a beautiful thing. And I think all women of all ages could definitely be inspired and could definitely take a page out of her, you know, her book, her life. You know, but I'll let her do the talking. Rosa, what's going on?
What's up?
Oh man, definitely super excited. I'm super excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and I'm sure Danny's excited that you're here.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't even know where to start. I really want the people listening to really understand who you are, where you come from, and how it is that you got to where you're at now. And I'm sure you're nowhere near
Nowhere near done.
nowhere near done. You know. But I really want people to really understand, you know, especially our youth here in Bridgeport and in Connecticut, to really understand, you know, the fight and the struggles and everything you've been through to get to where you're at now, you know, because as you know, here at the Latin Soundtrack, our biggest thing is to really show the youth that through hard work and patience, anything is possible. And you're like you're like the poster woman for hard work and hustle and patience.
Thank
you know.
Thank you.
So Rosa, where you were born here in Bridgeport?
No, I was born actually in Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh,
Yes.
Like
Chicago native.
Yes, in Chicago.
Okay, so your mom is from Chicago or?
No, she's from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Both my parents are from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Then I was born in Chicago, went back to Puerto Rico, then we ended up in New York for a little bit, and then we ended up in Connecticut.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
I ended up, me and my brother, in Connecticut with my mom,
Yeah. Okay. So but when you went to Puerto Rico, you went like for a little while.
just for a short time.
So by the time you got back to Connecticut, you were a teenager already, or super young?
I want to say maybe 3.5, 4 years old.
Okay. Okay. So and now you're in Bridgeport, Stratford.
Bridgeport.
Okay. Okay. So you pretty much went to school here.
Right. Yes.
Your first language was
English.
English. So no. So at home, even at home, it was English.
No, at home my mom spoke Spanish.
She wasn't having it. She
No.
was like, did she speak English at the time or no?
She does now, yeah.
Well, at the time, did she?
No.
So she was like, no, aquí se habla español, solamente.
That's it.
And that's how it is,
And
right?
that's how it was in my house.
That's how it still is at my house. We go to
My
mommy's
house,
house, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was like, mommy
She'll
understands
know English. Yeah, she'll understand it, but she won't want you talking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel bad sometimes, you know. Yeah, I do for real. I feel like she does laughing, but I feel
was thinking
bad.
about that the other day too. I'm
Yeah.
like, I need to start paying attention in my Spanish class. That's so I can talk to grandma in Spanish.
Yeah, no, definitely because I just feel like they're talking laughing, and I'm like, Dito, like you know, I want her to really know what's going on, you know. And by the way, shout out to mommy if she's watching or listening.
Yeah, she is.
Um,
What's good that we do is we communicate with her
Yeah.
and help her through it. Like sometimes I'll speak English just so, and she might not like get it,
yeah,
but I'll still do it just so she can understand what I'm saying. you know?
Definitely, definitely.
And then if she don't understand, I'll translate it too, like really
Yeah,
quick, just so she
definitely,
knows what I'm saying.
so you started in the school system here in Bridgeport.
Yes, I attended, what was the school? Columbus.
Columbus. I went to Columbus.
Really?
Yeah, I went to other schools. Mommy,
And he went to all of
yo, we moved. We were constantly moving, so I went to Columbus for some time.
I started in Columbus. Longfellow was my next. Whittier. Then Central.
Okay. So you went to Central High School.
Yes.
Okay. And
No,
you know we hardly.
Nah, I'm kidding. Well, that's our rival, so that's why I say.
Yeah, shout out Central.
Shout out Central.
Yeah, shout out.
That's good school. It's good school.
And you graduated
Yes.
like a regular student, like you didn't do like the summer school thing or whatever.
I did summer school.
No, I mean like you graduated with the whole class.
Oh, no,
or
with
you,
the whole class.
Okay,
no.
okay. Now, how was it growing up in Bridgeport? Like I mean, especially like your high school years, coming up in Bridgeport and like how was it? Like was it like I guess you know because we're from Bridgeport and we understand how it is. How you know I mean it's one thing how things are at home, but it's something else how things are in the streets. You know, once you leave your home to get to school, everything's different.
Yes, it's definitely different. I have to say that my high school years weren't as bad, and bad is not even the right word.
Yeah.
Compared to elementary and where I lived at that time. You know.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in P.T. Barnum.
Oh, P.T.,
Housing
okay.
Projects.
Okay.
Yes, and back then it was way different than what it is now.
Yeah.
Every day you had to watch your back if you were walking up the hallway by yourself to get to your apartment.
Yeah.
Violence, drugs.
And as a woman, or as
Yeah.
a girl at the time, it's probably extra, you know?
Yeah.
So what are things that you did to kind of like try to stay away from that negativity?
You know, I have to say, and I've always said this because I was surrounded with that for a good part of my youth.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in my face every single day. And I have to say, and I say it to this day, that I feel I've always had an angel with me, because I could have easily taken that same road.
Yeah.
And I just didn't. It was just like.
But the chance was there. The
Oh,
chance
yeah,
was there for you to
easy.
go that way.
Easy. It was right there in front of me.
Yeah.
Every day.
But you just chose not to. Do you think it was your upbringing? You think it was your mom kind of instilling things in you, or do you think you just knew?
I think I just knew.
Yeah.
I knew this is not what I wanted.
Yeah.
From a little girl, I've seen my mom struggle. I've seen other people around me struggle, and
Yes.
I've always said,
That's
this
not what you want.
is not the life I want. And I want to say, I can remember saying that as young as 10 years old.
So once you got to high school, things got changed for the better. Or
Well, a little better. In high school, let's see, my stepfather moved us away out of the projects,
Okay.
and so it was a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're not in that environment.
Right, exactly.
But high school is kind of its
It's tough.
own environment.
It's tough because now you want to hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
You know, you think you know it all. You don't want to listen to your parents. You want to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a different kind of.
Did you do anything in high school? Did you pick up any sports, any hobbies, any sports?
No.
Were you in any clubs?
No.
No? Like that?
Honestly, I have to say, I started high school, I want to say I was about 14. And because I've always seen my mom struggle, and I wanted in some way to help her out,
Yeah.
I started working when I was 15 years old.
Okay. So
So-
you were.
It was school, and I went to work. And don't get me wrong, I did, I wasn't a saint.
Yeah. No, I mean you were.
You
hanging
felt
out,
like at
or-
that age you had like this responsibility to,
Right,
you know what I mean?
I felt like I wanted to do something to kind of ease the burden off my mother.
Yeah.
Now, were
One
you
day.
were you the oldest
Yes, on my mom's side, I'm the oldest of two.
in your house? So in your household, you
Three,
were the oldest.
right. And then I'm also the oldest on my father's side of 4 other siblings.
So in the house in which you grew up, whether it
I'm
was in
the
a part,
oldest.
you were the oldest. So was there like some kind of pressure or some kind of like to kind of like be like a role model, or like knowing that your brothers and sisters were probably looking up to you? Not really.
No.
No.
Honestly, no. No.
Yeah, no. 'Cause sometimes when you're older, you kind of
I
have that.
think my drive was
Your mom.
my mom.
Yeah.
And my drive was also not falling into that life that I saw my mom struggle.
Yeah.
That's not what I wanted. That was just not what I wanted. And at that time, I had no kids, but I've always said if I have kids, I don't want my kids
Yeah.
to, go through
Go through,
go through it.
Yeah.
I just,
And that sometimes that's a drive. That right
Oh,
there
yeah.
will make you.
I mean, I had no kids at the time, but yeah.
No, definitely.
Motivate you, boost you,
Mhm.
all that.
Yeah. All right. So you go to high school. You start working at 15.
Yes.
You're working like odd jobs here and there, or like official
No,
jobs.
it was crazy. At 15, I was working at Dunkin' Donuts over in downtown Bridgeport on the corner, and it's still there.
Oh, the one over there by Subway. Across the street from
Right,
Subway.
Main
Okay.
Street there.
Yeah.
And I was 15. I wasn't even really legal to work, but
Yeah.
somehow I managed to get a job there. And I worked a late shift.
Okay.
And I remember my mom was not happy that I took that shift. And she said to me, if you want to work, fine, but you're going to walk home
Yeah.
every night. And that's exactly what happened. I would get off, say, I think it was 11 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and I walked home downtown Bridgeport in the dark
And to PT.
to, no, at that time,
Oh.
I lived over by the Greens
Oh, the Greens,
housing
okay.
projects, yes. And she was dead serious, but you know what? I'm glad she did it. Cause it, you know, it helped
Yeah. So,
toughen me up, you know?
so after high school, you went straight to college?
No. No. I became a mom at a young age,
Yeah.
at 19, married young.
Okay.
I was married by 20.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was my life. Actually, I went to Butler Business School.
Okay.
So during
Where's
that
that?
time, it's not there anymore, but it's
No, what?
like Bridgeport Fairfield line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's no longer there. But after I had my third child, I decided I'm going to go back to school because I was working retail at the time.
Yeah.
And I got sick of retail. And I said, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want a Monday through Friday job.
Yeah.
I had my eyes set on what I wanted, and I put myself through school for a year, and I landed a job at an attorney's office right after.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mhm.
So because of what you did at Butler Business,
Yes.
and is that where you're still now, or?
No, I think I was there only like a year.
Oh wow. Okay. And you quickly.
And I left because I couldn't stand the driving back and forth to Westport.
Oh,
Was it
no,
an experience though?
I already know.
Oh yeah,
Experience,
definitely a good experience. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
For sure. And I ended up applying for a job at Schrebs Corporation,
Okay.
McDonald's.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I started there in 1995.
That's here in Bridgeport.
Yes.
Okay.
Right in downtown Bridgeport. And I've been there ever since, so I'm going on 23 years.
Wow. That's incredible. Like 23 years in one place.
23
Yeah.
years.
I mean, I don't know that I could do it. Not for real. I don't. I mean, you know, I had jobs here and there. You know,
Yeah.
I think the longest was like 7.5 years of my last job. But to be the 20, so it must be good to you. The job must be good to you.
It really is. I started there as receptionist. Within a year and a half, I got promoted to bookkeeper.
Nice.
And from bookkeeper, I was asked to interview for administrative assistant to the owners, and
Okay.
I got that position, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very
So,
blessed, very blessed. I'm happy to be there.
and throughout this time, just the one child,
No, by then I've already had my kids, 4.
4 kids.
Yes.
Okay. 2 boys, 2 girls.
Yes.
Nice. Is that like perfect? And I just asked that because I feel like
But you're right. A lot of people always say they want to balance it.
yeah,
2 girls, 2 boys.
a
one
boy and a
girl.
girl,
Yeah,
or
they
whatever.
never. Not that they never want, but they always talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
sort of like even.
I think everybody has like an idea in their head. Like even at Gina's age, you have like an idea in your head of like kids, like what do I want to have.
Yeah.
So
And you're happy with whether it's a girl or boy, but still, you still think about. You're right. You still think about others balancing it. But
Yeah. No, it's a perfect balance. They each have their own personalities. It's
is that her phone?
yeah.
Keep it
so
on.
okay. Sorry.
What do you call it? Okay, so it's also 2 boys and 2 girls.
Mhm.
All right. So no, yeah, like I was saying, I just feel like that's.
You said they all have like their own different personalities.
They all
yeah.
have their own individual personalities.
That's good too. At least they're not all the same. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
So they all have their own individual personality. Any like you, like any of them?
Well, I will say this: my daughters definitely have my attitude.
Yeah.
Definitely. That Latina.
Like
Stubborn.
like you're a great woman and you're happy always, go lucky.
Well, no, not that part.
They haven't gotten there yet.
Not that part, but-
Well, they definitely got that from you. So your sons are
No,
not quite like you.
no. Not at all.
All right. So you're the owner and director of the Latin Rhythm Dance Studio.
Yes,
But you're telling us that you've been working for 22 years for Trans Corp.
I do both.
Okay. So where did that come in? Where did Salsa? Where did Latin Rhythm come in?
So I fell in love with salsa. You know what? Let me backtrack. Growing up, I loved hip hop.
Okay.
That was hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
That was all I listened to. Like I could not be bothered with Spanish music at all. And I don't know what it was, but when I started hitting my 30s, early 30s, I started to listen to it, and I fell in love with salsa just out of the blue.
Yeah.
And then I went out a few times with a few of my friends back then, and it was a salsa club, and that's all they danced. And all I did was watch because I didn't know how to dance. And I said, I want to learn.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's an awesome thing to watch. Like, for real. Like, you don't know.
It is so beautiful watching.
Yeah. Especially talented people.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they know how to dance, it looks like art.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell in love with it. And so I found a school. At that time, it was Yvette's Latin Rhythm.
Okay.
Way back when.
That's when it was in Bridgeport.
In Bridgeport on East Main Street.
Okay.
Yes.
Location was in Bridgeport.
And that's when I fell in love with salsa, and I was 30 years old.
I think it was that closer to Bridgeport Park, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was up there.
Yeah.
Where was it? Like, what's there now?
I don't know.
You don't
I have
know?
no idea.
Is it like by Dairy Queen?
I think it's past. No, it's way past Dairy Queen. It's really close to Bearsley Park.
So
it's probably like where Fantasy Comics, where it used to be, where Axels is now, I think.
Okay, okay. All right. So go ahead.
And that's when I fell in love with salsa. I then enrolled and I started taking lessons. And I fell off here and there, because work and
life happens.
And life happens.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But that's when I fell in love with it.
And then you went to take classes there, or?
Mm-hmm. I started taking classes there.
How was it like your first time? Like, were you nervous? Were you like, I got this, or were you like?
No, I was nervous, but
What
anything new
calmed
you do.
you? What so you just slowly transition yourself into like, all right, I'm good. Okay.
Yeah, that was it. And then my oldest daughter, she was about 8 when I signed her up because they had children's classes, and she's been there ever since. And she's now my head instructor at Latin Rhythm.
So let's backtrack a little bit. So you start going to these classes. Now, a lot of times when people start doing things like new, like that, kind of fresh or whatever, or you like what you would tend to do is you would tend to kind of like bring a friend, a friend or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, a husband, a cousin, something. Yeah. Do you bring anybody with you, or you just went by yourself?
Well, when I started, I went by myself.
Okay.
Because that for me, honestly, at that time I was still married. That for me was my outlet.
Like your getaway, kind of.
My getaway.
Okay.
From work, kids, and the husband. That was my time.
Yeah.
And so I started by myself.
Okay. And then
what was it like? Like, did you see someone like really good? Like, did they hand you like someone really good, and you were like, did you ever get like nervous, like, or scared, or like, did you see someone like dance like really good, and you were like, oh my god, no, don't give me him, or don't give me her?
No.
I never. You were always really confident.
I mean, everybody was there to learn. So
yeah.
And the first few classes, yes, you get nervous, but
after a while, just pick it up. Yeah.
But that decision to go, and the reason why I keep digging in is because I'm really trying to touch, the youth and the fear of starting something new. They might like something, they might see something on TV, they might hear about something, and it's like you automatically shut yourself down.
Or you start second guessing.
Yeah, you start saying, you know what, I might not be able to, or they're gonna make fun of me, or like how do I make that first step, So like for you, was it like automatically, like immediately you were like, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'm going? Or were you kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do? Do you do a little bit of research to find out like where you should go? Do you talk to people to see, hey, what's a good place to go to?
Right. Well, I looked around and there was Blackie.
Okay.
Steps. At that time, I can't remember if his studio was called Steps. So actually, that was where I first took a few lessons.
Okay.
And I got discouraged. I will not say why.
Okay.
But yes, I got discouraged there. And then I just kept looking and I found Yvette's Latin Rhythm.
And then you kind of
It was so different. The atmosphere, the whole structure of it was so different. It was definitely more, I felt like very comfortable, and I knew that this is where I was going to learn.
So I'm assuming Yvette was the owner.
Yes, at that time. Oh, so
super friendly.
Yes.
Like super welcoming.
Everybody there was super friendly. Even the students, and she had a few assistants with her.
Yeah.
So yes, and that makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
How you welcome someone.
Yes, definitely. So you started dancing there. You started taking classes or whatever.
Right.
after some time, you feel comfortable enough to bring your young daughter. So then
Right.
you definitely feel comfortable if you bring your daughter in there.
Right,
Because I feel like if you bring your kids somewhere, especially your daughter, your oldest daughter, you gotta feel super comfortable.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's backtrack a little because you mentioned about the youth and getting nervous when you start.
Yeah.
That is so normal. Anytime you start something new,
Yeah.
being nervous, comes with it. But think about it this way. If you never try, you're always going to ask and live with what if.
Yeah.
So is that something you're willing to live with? What if? And if you don't take that first step, you will never know.
And your age didn't discourage you either.
No.
So you didn't feel like oh, I'm too old.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? I mean, at the time, you were like
29, 30
Yeah.
when I started.
So, I mean, we know that that's not old.
Yeah.
Because we're there already, right?
Mhm. Right.
But somebody like Gina, she
Right.
might look at 30 and be like, oof,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you're bad old when you started. Like, you know what I mean? That's real. Like,
Man, oh, we're trying to start.
no, for real. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was like 15, 16, like her age, I was like a 30-year-old, like, que viejo. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's when you said that's what she was like. She mad all the time to get her come up in here. Look at her, son. Yeah, she can't even do a Suzy Q old ass.
That goes to show anyone at any age, but mostly teens, but any age, that it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like there isn't like a set time or a set age to start anything.
It's like people when they go to school and they're like over 30,
Exactly.
they're like 40, 50,
Exactly.
and they go to school and they get their profession or their degree
Exactly.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It don't matter, you know what I mean? It ain't matter. The same way an 18-year-old will go into college. And
But don't talk Gina like she
No,
better
I'm just
be
saying.
alright.
No.
Alright.
I'm just saying. You know, they gonna say, alright. They gonna learn more than me, No, it's funny when I went to college. I remember being the youngest one.
Yeah.
And because I went to a community college or
That because your father was
technical
happy. He was like, "You go to college."
yeah, and I remember when I went, I was like the youngest one, and people in there were actually like already in their profession, like they were already professionals. They were already like graphic designers, like working for New York at some big company, and they're like 30, 40 years old. And I'm like, wait, I'm still young. I'm still learning how to paint. And you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy, but
Yeah,
it goes to show you.
colors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how to mix colors. Yeah.
So you're like 29, 30, whatever. Anyway, so you feel super comfortable. You're in there. You're doing your thing. But you're the owner and director of the Latin Rhythm Dance Studio now.
Right.
So what happened? Like,
That's
what
how much
happened?
I loved it.
Because you started losing so much, I took over.
That was it. That was a passion.
Yeah.
Well,
Still is, but I'm just saying at that time it was like,
Right.
all right,
So-
I'm holding on to this.
a few years go by, and I learned I'm a very observant person, and I learn a lot like that. So Yvette and I, the owner, back then, we became good friends, and I helped her out, and then in conversation, we mentioned the potential that the studio could have.
Yes.
The studio back then was really small, so at that time it was definitely time to expand a little.
Yeah.
So she relocated the studio to Stratford on Barnum Avenue.
Okay.
At that time when she made that move, she asked if I would work the office and manage the studio for her.
And you're still working your regular job.
Right? Yeah,
Okay.
the whole time.
Yeah.
I stayed at Shrubs, still there.
Okay.
I don't plan on leaving at all. Right, I did both, and then, like anything, life happens. Changes come and go, and then in 2014, early 2014, Yvette asked if I would be interested in becoming the owner, and I said yes.
No, hold on, wait. We're not gonna skip. Wait.
What?
No, I mean, no.
Yeah, the timeline went from like,
Yo, it went from like.
I just walked in, and then in 2014,
I
I'm the
walked
owner.
in, and then the vet was like, "Yo, you want this?"
Well, okay,
No.
life happens.
No. My thought, my question was more towards. So she comes up to you, and she says, "Hey, Rosa, how are you? What you have for breakfast? How's your kids doing?" Wait. And then she says, "Are you interested in becoming the owner?" What do you think? Like, how do you feel at that moment when somebody asks you that question? That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
I I think because I mean cut in, but like I think maybe because you worked together for so long, was it maybe a little more?
That was definitely part of it, and I think she knew. Put it this way, that was something she started. And whenever you start something, that becomes like your baby. And whenever you're going to walk away from something or kind of, you know, decide to take a different journey in your life, and you have something like that, then you're not going to hand it over to just anybody.
Just anyone. Mm-hmm.
So I think she had the confidence to know that I was going to make sure that it continued on and that it was going to succeed.
And it's funny because I think like life period is like that. Like if you went to sell your car, right, and you had your car for so long, you don't want to just sell it to like anyone. You want to sell it to someone who's really gonna take care of it. After that, you don't care. Like you see that and you're like, no, that was my car. It's all torn up. But at first you want to sell it to. So I'm just saying that I think life and everything is almost like that. Like when you own something, when you have something for so long, you want to make sure you hand it over to someone who's gonna really take care of it or continue to
Right, that is going to continue on in a positive way, and I feel that she knew that.
It's your choice.
were you immediately like, yes?
It was surreal.
And that's what I'm saying. It had to
emotions.
be. Yeah.
I felt different things all at the same time. Surreal, happiness, nervousness,
many thoughts
pressure.
through your head.
It was a mixture. But in my heart, in my gut, my intuition, and I tend to do that. I always, my intuition is very strong, and my intuition told me that it was the right thing, and I said yes.
Wow, that was definitely that's like a big moment, and we're gonna pause right there, and I just want to go ahead and take some time now to give some shout outs to whoever's on Facebook watching.
We have a couple people that will actually have some comments and some says and. We're gonna go right to the beginning here real quick. You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have plenty of viewers and watchers. Thank you to all of them. I know that at the end you like to.
Out there.
So we have.
I'm glad you're ready.
I know. I'm gonna start with Michael Todd. He said, "Danny, why are you so serious?" I'm not, Michael. What happens is, Mike. I'm listening to the conversation. I get a little serious, but I'm all good.
Hey, shout outs to Michael Todd, man.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Mike is a great friend of mine. We've been friends for a long. We met in high school.
Yes.
A good friend of mine, and he's a dad now.
Yes. Congratulations. Man. I mean,
Congrats.
Congrats, man. I went to go see the baby.
That must be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We have Evelyn Perez. She says, "So proud of my sister." Mili Titi Milagro.
Yeah.
Hola, Dios te bendiga. And then Eunice Colon, she said in front of the gas. Oh, she was talking about the studio. She said it was in front of the gas station.
Okay,
Yes,
way up there.
So
So that's what I'm talking about. It's like by the way.
Diagonally.
No, it's way up, higher up.
Yeah, the gas station was right across the street from Bearsley Park, and you can see the gas station from where.
So it's not it's like a car place now. It's like they do car stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
transmission
yes.
and something.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Titi Cali said, "Hola, mi amores." She said, "Hi, Rosa."
Yeah, that's mommy. Hi, mommy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Laura Marin. I'm sorry, Marin.
Yes, that's one of our students.
Hi, Rosa. God bless you guys. Titi Cali again. She said, "Dios bendiga." Edward.
My daughter-in-law Eunice is on. Thank you.
Yep. About it. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Can you see on there everybody that's on? Everybody that liked it or whatever? Or
That's still viewing right now? Or?
Dania, what's up?
We have a few viewers on right now.
Say hi to River for me.
We have Omar watching. We have Miguel Perez watching. Regina, she's here. My phone's like really sore. We have Kelly Flores.
Pito.
Who?
Pito.
Oh yeah, Miguel. Yeah, Pito. Miguel. What is it?
yeah, shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook. We do appreciate the support, the love. Please keep watching and sharing.
Peter watching.
Oh, definitely Peter Pinto, man. Shout out to
Shout out
PPR.
to
Here.
Yeah, shout out to PPRradio.net. Thanks for all the support, guys. Really do appreciate the support, the love, and let's keep it going. So Rosa.
Yes.
So now Yvette comes up to you and she's like, hey, by the studio, whatever she said, right? So now, so you're excited. Did you say yes right away?
Yes.
You're not. So there's not even no. Let me go home and sleep on this.
No.
You knew right away this is what you want to do.
Right.
Nice. So you say yeah, and this happened in 2014.
Right.
So
Early 2014. So the transition took place in October of 2014.
Okay. So since late 14, since late 14, you've been the owner and director of the Latin Rhythm Dance Studio.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So and how was that? How was the transition and everything for you? Not in the sense of the studio, but just you, your life, like you know what I mean?
It was a big adjustment because now the responsibility is bigger.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I say it meaning everything is your responsibility.
Yeah.
When you manage something, you manage and then you get to go home.
Yeah.
When you own something, it's completely different because now you have overhead, that's your responsibility. You have payroll, that's your responsibility. You have to coordinate all types of events, that's your responsibility. And I actually did that already when I managed it.
Yeah.
But it's different when you're the owner because so much more goes into it.
Yes.
So it's completely different.
So was it like a smack? Like wow. Or were you able to kind of slowly grab onto it?
You know, I don't want to sound like overly confident or like.
Just be you.
It didn't worry me.
Yeah.
Because it's what I love.
Yeah.
And then when I say that, it was challenging, and that challenge is what drove me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm going to keep it real here. I'm going to keep it 100%.
We're in top station.
Yeah.
We're in a top station.
I know
we keep
for
it
a
real.
fact that there were people, or probably still is people, that are waiting for me to fall.
Of course.
And that drives me. And for my love for Yvette and for my love of the kids that attend the studio,
Yes.
I will try my hardest to the very end to make sure that Latin Rhythm continues on beyond me.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, real quick, Yezi Castillo says, let him know, Rosa. Like that.
No, definitely,
yeah.
definitely. No, so all right, so needless to say, regardless of how tough it might have been then and how tough it may or may not be now, that doesn't really worry you to the point where you think you're gonna break.
Right. It's still tough. It's tough.
Yes.
You know, that type of business changes from 1 month to another.
Yeah.
From 1 week to another. You know, and you have to have that faith and just try so hard to stay positive. There's days when it's hard to stay positive, but you have to have that faith and that positivity that it's all gonna work out.
Definitely. No, and I know because just to be able to get her here today on a Thursday was tough for me.
Yeah.
Because Thursday nights is one of the big nights. It's the salsa night.
That's a nice, yeah.
Right.
So she's
And
like
I'm
yo.
here.
She's like yo.
Damn. I'm here.
Damn. Anyways, no, for real, no. So it definitely shows. But that's good. But you so it's been what? It's been almost 4 years now.
Right.
Since
This October is gonna be 4 years.
Since you taken it over. And that's good. And I mean I've been there, Danny, you've been there. Gina's been there for what, 8 years now? 10 years. So Gina's been going to that rhythm for 10 years. And talking about that a little bit, Gina's been there for 10 years. So obviously you've seen her grow.
Yes, and that I have to say, one thing I have to say about Latin Rhythm that I absolutely love is how you become a family.
Yeah.
It's not just students walking in. There are students there that have been there with me for the last 4 years that I've grown to love as a family.
Yeah.
There's kids there that been there way before I even became owner, and I've watched them grow. And when they become teenagers and they embark on a different journey and you see them leave, I get emotional. I do, because
Did you see them grow?
right.
Mhm.
And
Nah, this is facts too, because I remember 2 years ago, or no, I think it was the past year
this past year,
at the show. I think some of your students have been there for a while.
it was Ian and Kevin.
Yeah,
They left.
they were going to college, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that was really hard because, first of all, when you have students that you know they love the dance, it's so different. You know, you can tell the difference when a child is put there because the parent wants to have them be part of an activity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then a student who loves to be there, and they have that passion, and they
Also-
had it.
Also Annie too. Annie.
Oh yeah, Annie. Yeah, Annie was
Oh
leaving too.
yes, Annie, yes.
Yes.
And listen, she's doing big things. I am so proud of that girl. I am so proud of her. She's going to college. She wants to be a doctor. That's big. And she made a decision. She felt she had to leave dance so she can fully focus on her education. And I
you
think that's
respect
great.
that. No, definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
And you know, Kevin and Ian, same thing, but Kevin ended up coming back.
I know. I saw him there a couple days
Yeah.
ago.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's actually in Spain right now. He's taking a course up there, and he's going to be there for 5 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's super cool though.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. Now you
So
mentioned,
it must make you proud too that they're actually,
Oh,
if they're leaving, it's not because of something negative or bad.
right.
It's more
Mhm.
because
I
they're growing and they're going to. They're beginning their journey. You know.
I think that regardless, I mean, even though they're leaving, and I know it makes you sad and all that good stuff, you know, that they're leaving, I think just to know that you were able to play a role in their family, I mean, in their life, that they're never going to forget.
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah, they stay out of trouble, they
have
dance.
something to
Right.
do.
And,
Yeah,
and they're not going to forget their dancing.
Yeah.
I mean, they might get a little rusty, but they're not gonna forget, and they're gonna always look back to, you know, whether it was the best Latin Rhythm or Latin Rhythm Dance Studio, you know, as it stands now
Right.
with you, the owner. They're gonna always look back to that, you know. So I think it's great.
It's almost like coaches for sports.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of kids look up to their coaches because they held them there from being in trouble.
Yeah.
And a lot of coaches, female and male, the kids look up to them as like almost like a parent if they don't have that,
Right.
you know, if they're not that father figure,
Yeah.
not the mother figure. Sometimes they look at those coaches like,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Definitely,
So-
definitely, and I think that's great that you said that, because that kind of brings me into my next topic. You mentioned earlier that your daughter started dancing with you, not with you, but you started bringing her
When
at
she was
8 years old, and you said she's one of your instructors now.
And she's one of my head instructors.
Okay, so she's been dancing for
Since she was 8, she's now
So-
25.
so like 18, 17 years.
17
Wow.
Yeah. So how does that make you feel?
Proud.
Like to see her, like not. I mean, she's not just dancing; she's instructing.
Right.
Yeah,
It makes me proud. And
Does she the like you said some people bring their kids in just to get them to do an activity.
right.
Was that what you were doing?
No. I brought her in because
She was a loose cannon.
no. No. You know, they say you should never regret. And I can't say that I regret anything that's happened in my life because it's made me who I am today,
Of
and I
course.
have learned so much. I
Yes.
would not be the woman that I am today if it wasn't for all that I've been through.
Yeah.
And I wish it didn't take me as long, but it took me long to fall in love with being Hispanic,
Yeah.
with being a Latina, with falling in love with my culture, my heritage, my music.
Yes.
It happened to me at again, I was 29, 30.
Yeah.
And because I fell in love with salsa, that's when I decided I want my daughter to learn how to dance. I want her to learn something that was part of our culture. And I don't know if she fell in love with it the way I did. I'm sure she loves it in her own way, and that's perfectly fine. But that was my main reason. And don't get me wrong, she had her moments where she got tired of it, but for whatever reason, she still stuck it through. You know, she went back to it. She would fall off, went back to it.
So that was kind of your way to kind of help her have a little bit of the culture
Right.
and you know,
Exactly.
kind of in her.
And I wish my other kids, you know, did too, but they, you know, they didn't, and that's fine.
You tried?
I tried with Maya.
Yeah.
She's my youngest daughter. Maya is the singer. She
Yeah.
loves to sing,
Okay.
but dance. And what's crazy with her is she picks up the dance like this. A guy could take her out and she's there following.
Yeah.
And she didn't take lessons. So go figure. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to me, but whatever.
So you end up bringing her in just so she could kind of get that culture and all that good
Right,
stuff.
that
And
was
she,
my main reason.
so she ended up going from that to being a great dancer, performer,
Yes.
right?
Right.
She's performed all over
She's been to many salsa congresses.
in Connecticut or
Connecticut, Puerto Rico. She performed in Puerto
Nice.
Rico, Rhode Island, Miami,
nice.
a few places.
And now she's an instructor.
Yes.
Okay, and so how does that make you feel?
Proud.
I mean, I know you see her every day,
Right.
like you
I'm
know, and
proud of her. She's grown so much. You know, she has her daughter, and I won't lie. There's moments where I feel like, you know, she's giving her time to help me out with my business.
yeah,
And she has a child, you know, and I know that's time she could be with her daughter, but I have to say she tries her best to balance it all,
yeah.
you know.
It's about balancing, yeah.
Right, and I have to say, you know, don't get me wrong, any mother-daughter relationship, sometimes you bump heads, and
Of course.
and
Yeah,
it
especially
happens
once-
to us.
Especially when you become adults, like when you're an
Yes,
adult and
exactly.
along with your mom or your dad.
Yeah,
or
no, it's a
whatever.
lot different from
It is.
from when
It
you're
is.
younger.
Yeah, it is because I feel like you don't hold back as much as an
Yeah.
adult.
Right.
Like my mom doesn't hold back as much as she did when I was a kid. Now she's
Yeah.
just like you know. And it's,
Yeah.
So for the most part, you know, I'm proud. I'm happy to have her there. And I honestly, where the studio is right now and a few changes that's happened in the last few months, I'm really happy to have her there. I appreciate her support and I hope she knows that. Mandy, I hope you know that I see you and I see all that you do.
Great, yeah. Shout out to Mandy if you're watching or if somebody's watching that knows Mandy. Tell her we give her a shout out. Shout out.
Yes.
Definitely. No, that's great. That's great. I like that. It kind of keeps like in the family and everything. I think
Yes.
it's really good.
And I have to say her growth has really surprised me in the last few months.
Yeah.
Where in the things and a few things that she's mentioned to me that she wants to do. So I'm really proud.
So as a mom, as a mother, would you say that you're proud of your kids?
Definitely. Listen, when you become a parent, the first thing, I would assume the first thing a parent would want is for their children to have more than what they have.
Yeah.
To make the right choices. Are my kids where I would want them to be ideally? No. But it's their journey.
Yeah.
And at some point, all I can do is, you know, be there to support the best way that I can, give them my 2 cents, my opinions, you know?
Yo, when people say my 2 cents, that never sounds good. Like for real, like the 2 cents is always like I'm gonna give you my 2 cents in a minute. Like you know what I mean?
You know, guide them the best that I can, but bottom line at the end, it's going to come down to the choices that they make and the road that they want to take. And all I can do is be there the best way that I can.
Be the best supporter, yeah. Be the best supporter, yeah.
Definitely. Let's go ahead and just take a few seconds out to any other comments or anything on Facebook. I just want to make sure that we are interacting with everybody who's watching on Facebook. If there's any comments or questions on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah. So we have Nairobi. She said, "Hey, hey guys, glad you guys are back.
Oh, Puerto
For a
Rico's in the
minute, I
house.
feel like I'm back at Bridgeport. Great broadcast. Keep it up."
Yeah, definitely. Well,
God,
before you go forward, Nairobi, she's in Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
She's one of our biggest fans.
It's-
So thank you for watching again. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you come back down to Bridgeport soon and you can join, not join, but you can come to the station and check us out, right?
Yes. We got Tanya Rodriguez watching. We got Daniel Vieira watching.
Yes.
We got John Torres watching.
Yes.
Jose Reyes Jr.
Wait, John Torres, which
John Torres downstairs.
Oh, downstairs.
I'm sorry, I had to say that.
Definitely. Shout out to John.
Jose Reyes Jr. Wanda Santana.
Oh, Vanessa Taylor, she's a student, right? I don't know. Wait, what?
Wanda Santana.
I think so. I'm not
No,
sure.
she's actually she is a student.
Okay.
She hasn't been there in a while, but
I'm blind. You see me?
yes, she's a
Trying
great
to see the
supporter.
Definitely. Any other
Angelica
comments?
Soto.
Oh, Angelica. Shout out to Angelica.
Yes. And then Miguel Perez said, "Woo, glad to see you guys back and running. Looking forward to many more shows."
Definitely. That's Pito, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Pito, we gotta meet up soon. We got some things to talk about, puppy.
Pito, get ready for vacation.
Oh,
Out of the topic, but
he's going over there?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, definitely. All right, so coming back to Latin rhythm.
We fell off topic. Back to that rhythm.
Back to Latin rhythm. Nah, I feel like it got a little,
Right.
Rosa's nose started to get red. And,
Yeah, I know. I get a little emotional when you start asking me about my kids.
Yeah, no.
That's a good thing,
No,
yeah.
that's definitely a good thing. No, that's definitely a good thing. I mean, I don't get emotional when we talk about Gina, but.
I can't.
No, definitely. So tell us about Latin rhythm.
So Latin Rhythm is located on 1418 Barnum Avenue in Stratford, and we teach there bachata and salsa for adults. We have hip hop salsa for the kids, and we're hoping for our next dance season to add a kids bachata class.
Nice.
So that's in the works.
Yes.
The plans I have for the studio, God willing, with patience and time, and at the right time, we're definitely looking to expand
Definitely.
and add more classes than what's already there.
Okay.
So
Definitely.
that's in the future.
Yes. So right now, so you're running. I guess you could say Latin rhythm.
I'm
dance
sorry, and we
studio.
also offer Latin fusion for the kids.
Oh, Latin fusion. Yeah.
Now, so
sorry.
really quick question, huh? Now, what if I'm new, right, and I'm looking to sign in, or do I walk in? Do I go on the website?
You can walk in. We do take walk-ins. We always have at least 2 to 3 instructors on hand. So say you're new and you've never danced before, we have an instructor that take the walk-ins and
Okay.
work with them. And he teaches them the basics enough where they can participate in the beginner level 1 class.
Okay.
So there's not just one, beginner class that we have, at least
Plenty of them.
right,
Definitely.
2 different levels.
Definitely. So if you guys are watching on Facebook,
Yeah, it's for the viewers.
yeah, if you haven't heard of Latin Rhythm Dance Studio, please check them out on Facebook or Instagram, Snapchat, and see what they're all about. We'll talk about it more towards the end of the show. But coming back to Latin Rhythm Dance Studio. So now in 2014, you become the owner. It's been my own experience that the salsa community, not only in Bridgeport but just in Connecticut as a whole, is like a tight knit, like kind of it's almost like a family.
Right, very tight knit. If you go to New York, in New York there is a salsa dance school in pretty much in every block.
Yeah.
Obviously in Connecticut it's not like that.
Yeah.
So the community here, it's small but big at the same time.
Yeah.
I say small because there's not a lot of dance studios, but big because there's so many dancers that support each other, and they're all over. Like you'll have people that from Hartford come down to dance socials down this way and vice versa.
Yes.
And so that's when I say it's big, because the support is there. Baila Conmigo is another dance studio in Milford, and shout out to Baila Conmigo.
Oh, with Quincy Davis
Yes.
and
Art
Art
Davis.
Davis.
Yes, I love working with those guys. They're awesome. There's Latin moves in Stanford.
Yes.
I know there's a few up in Hartford. I apologize, I don't know their names.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of any. Oh, there's Rumberos
Okay.
in New Haven. There's
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
also
gonna say there's
Alisa
one.
House of Salsa in,
At least, yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So we're not on every corner like New York, but the schools are there.
Yes.
And you know, one thing I'll say this: if you know there's a salsa event happening, go out and support it, because out again, keeping it real. There's people that say, oh, there's nowhere for the salseros to go. You go to a club and they're playing reggaeton, but when the salsa is offered, sometimes the salseros aren't there.
Yeah.
So, you know, you want the salsa, then, you know, support.
Definitely.
Be out there supporting.
Definitely. So did the salsa kind of community, the salsa family, do you feel like you were kind of well embraced with the whole changeover? Because I'm sure people noticed, like, hey, what's going on?
I was. I'm, you know, I know, I really was. Don't get me wrong, like I said earlier, you'll always have those few, you know.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yes, I was very much supported.
Okay, and that I mean, I would assume that kind of helped, you know, kind of move forward with that rhythm and everything like that. So now you're still working your regular job. You're running Latin rhythm, and
Right.
and you said your daughter has a daughter. That means that you're a grandmother.
Right.
So, and how's that?
I love it.
Yeah.
I have 2 granddaughters,
You
and
do?
they are my world.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now,
It's a different type of love.
yeah, but like, what's the difference?
You know.
Hey, no, I know you're laughing, Gina.
Because-
Gina's laughing. No, I'm asking that because you always see there's always the difference, the love of a mother and a daughter, and the love or son, and the love of a mother and a grandchild.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's always different.
It is because, put it this, you know, I love my kids to death. Obviously, they're my world,
Yeah, of course.
right?
Yeah.
And they're adults now. Because I had to work so much to provide for my family, because that's one thing I'll say, I did and worked as much as possible to give my kids the life that I wanted them to have.
Yeah.
Just that, you know, I didn't want them to see me struggle.
Does it make you go back to
No.
like when you're
Yes,
saying
I always
mom?
go back
Yeah.
to that part of
Yeah.
my life.
But do you feel like that perhaps, I mean, maybe not in your case, but do you feel like perhaps too much, maybe too much?
Yes, definitely.
And the reason I say that is because too often I see where kids, well, not kids, but people are raised in a situation where they don't have much and they go through a lot of struggle, and so their mindset is, when I have kids, they're gonna have everything because I didn't have it.
Yeah.
And so now they have kids, and now they work their butt off, have 2 or 3 jobs, and they're never ever with the kids because now they're working too much.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing I have to say is you never want to give your kids way too much, because that doesn't help.
So were you able to teach your kids like the value of things
Yes.
as opposed to just giving them things?
Right.
Okay.
I pretty much instilled in them, if you want something, you have to work for it.
Yeah.
You have to, you know, if this is not the life that you want, then work for the life that you want.
Yeah.
And, you know, I forgot what your question was.
The question was about the love for a
Oh,
grandchild.
that was the original question.
That was the original.
Yeah.
Way back. Yeah.
It's different. It's, you know, again, I worked so much, and I missed out on a lot with my kids.
Yeah.
I was blessed that I never have to put my kids in daycare, that I have family members there to take care of them while I worked.
Yeah.
So I was blessed, but I missed out on a lot. And with my granddaughters, it's not like a second chance, but I get to experience certain things with them
That you weren't able to.
that I wasn't able to.
Okay.
And just the love for them, you know, some people may not agree, but I'm gonna say it because this is how I feel, and to hell with it, it's my feelings. But the love I have for my granddaughters is so much more and so overwhelming, more than my love for my children. I don't know if anyone can understand that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I love my kids to death. I do. But for your grandkids, oh my God.
And then just the way they look up to you,
it's
probably
so
too. You know
overwhelming.
what I mean? The way
It's a different type of love. It really, really is.
and the way they
Well,
look,
I think
the way they look for that
yeah.
love too.
Well,
you know what I mean?
because I think that the love from your grandchildren to you is different than the love from your kids. And the reason for that is because you're not with them all the time and telling them, no, don't do this.
So they'll take advantage of the parents. Like, you know, I'm saying advantage,
Exactly.
like, they'll do bad,
Exactly.
blah, blah, blah. But when they're with the grandparents, it's like,
So your daughter, so your daughter who has a daughter, Mandy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your granddaughter might go to her and be like, oh, thank you. So your granddaughter might go up to her and be like, oh, whatever, and then she may be like, no, whatever, and then she comes to you, it's different because you haven't been dealing with her all day, you know.
Right.
So that's just the way it is. I mean, I put it like this: like I have a puppy, you know, and then everybody's like, oh no, it's all right, spend a couple hours with him, and then tell me that it's okay, that what he's doing is okay.
I got a taste of that yesterday when I
I heard about it.
I said to him, when are you coming to get him?
You're like half an hour later.
I heard about it, and he pressed play on a video where you're like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, you heard? Oh, you saw the video?
So he heard
we're
it.
just struggling. I was like, poor Rosa.
And you little, I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
That's alright.
No, definitely. And I think that's what it is. I think it's the fact that the love towards you is different too, because they look for you in a different way.
Yes.
And so I think it's kind of like it goes both ways.
We had a comment here from Wandy Montalvo.
Yeah.
She said, "Is it different love for our grandkids?" And I do understand Rosa.
She got one check. She got
She's like,
yeah. I got a cheerleader. Now, I'm sure a lot of people agree. I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure people who have grandkids probably agree because they probably see it and they feel it and they understand it.
Well, we know how it was for us too, dude. Our like with our grandparents, we
yeah.
got away with a lot. Not a lot, but we got away with
Yeah.
like loving, kind.
Everything was always everything was always
right?
okay.
And okay, calm.
Está bien, papi, papito, no te preocupes.
You could probably break something.
Yeah, mommy was like, oh, no te apures, yo tengo que ir a casa.
Yeah. There was consequences. Yeah.
Está bien, es un nene. Está bien, es un nene.
You were warned not to ask for nothing, not to take nothing,
man.
and then when you got there, it was like, no, dale esto, toma, está bien, and you're like, oh my God, no, I
That's how it
can't.
was. That's how it was. Before you went,
You still love your mom,
you
you
got the
still
little
love
speak
your
before you
dad,
went inside.
but it was just like something different for
Before
you.
you went in, you got the,
Oh yeah.
Caro, vete para adentro, tú no pidas nada, tú no comas nada, te me sientas tranquilito y calladito y lo como rapidito. And as soon as you walk in, what happens? She comes out, hey papito, ¿quieres comer esto? You're like, damn. Hello,
Like I was warned.
little bizcochito. Yeah. And then forget it when you get home, you get it. You know, but that's just the way it was. But that's good. That's definitely a great experience, I guess, for you to be able to experience that now that you're a little more established. You're still working, but you're a little more established. You're not like kind of like really like stressing, I guess, as much as far as raising kids. Like you're kind of more established, so it's better for you to be able to spend time with your grandkids and do all those things, which is definitely a good thing. Because all your children are already adults.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't really have to. You're not really like babysitting anymore.
Right.
So that's really good.
Well, I'm sure they still got their days when they still come around like, Ma! See? Ma! And you're like,
There's always, when they're older, you kind of like, what do you want?
yeah.
Kind of thing.
They want their mommy.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, no, definitely. So okay, so you've been there for like 3 years now, running that rhythm, and you're still working your job. Do you feel like you've accomplished most of what you wanted to accomplish as far as being established and doing what you gotta do? I mean, obviously you're not where you want to be at, but
I feel I took a few steps forward, but there's so much much more I want to do. Like I said, I feel I'm not done.
Yeah.
Like, my vision and my goal is crazy. I'm not gonna say what they are. But
It's good. Secret.
yeah, I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
Definitely. Now, do you feel like, you know, for the young women who may be listening, girls, teenagers, women, whatever, do you feel like I mean, because obviously you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've been working your butt off for 20-some years at the current company, and you've been, you know, running your business. Would you say it's tough, overhead, everything, you know? Obviously people kind of like, you know, haters, all that good stuff, whatever.
Right.
But do you feel like you being a woman has played a part in that? Like, as far as if things being more difficult or easier or what have you? Or do you feel like that kind of like empowered you to kind of like try harder or?
I
Well,
have to say,
that plays a big role.
No, yeah.
Then and still now. You know what I mean? Like, this
Well,
is nothing.
I will say that my past
Yeah.
has definitely played a role in me being empowered. You know, for these young ladies, it's crazy. It could just take, you know, a few people or just one person to just really try to bring you down and put stuff in your head, like degrade you.
Yeah.
And I feel as a woman, and these young ladies, you really, really have to, you know your worth and know that you deserve so much more and know that you can do it on your own. I'm not saying I'm very independent, and I'm very independent, again, because I saw my mom struggle. I'm very independent because when I trusted a person or certain people where I felt it was okay to be vulnerable, they made you feel like you were less than because you showed your
Sensitive
side, right?
Yeah.
So I have to say it kind of hardened me, but I'm not saying be independent to where you have to do it all on your own or by yourself and you don't need anyone's help. But be independent enough that know if something happens to have that faith and confidence that know that you're going to be okay. And know that whatever's thrown your way, whatever bump in the road is there, that it's only put there for you to learn something from it and for you to grow from it and be even better. So for the young ladies, just know that
Hashtag live and learn.
yes, live and learn and know your worth. Know that you are very deserving. You're stronger than you think. Just, kind of like, I don't want to say have a backup plan, but, you gotta kind of like be prepared. Like, be prepared. That's all.
Beautiful. Then we kind of went right into some advice,
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I felt like it was my turn.
No.
I was so for the ladies.
So for the ladies, he said for the ladies, my advice,
I just broke.
just
Just
give me a call. My number is no,
I think it really did.
no, definitely will. Yeah. So
Did it?
No, it's good.
Oh,
you alright?
sorry about that.
No, definitely. No, that's definitely really good advice for the women out there, for the young ladies to take and to really understand that it really is all about living and learning, and taking chances and kind of knowing who you are, but also being kind of able to give yourself a chance to figure out who you are if you don't know who you are. Don't live your life always kind of wondering who you are or who you may be.
Listen, life is a work in progress. Everyone is a work in progress. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still trying to figure myself out. That's never ending.
Yeah.
I'm proud of who I am today, but my journey isn't over. And life is a classroom. I heard this by someone, and it's true. Life is a classroom every single day. Every single day.
Beautiful.
Until you die.
Yeah, we learn so much. It's crazy.
Definitely.
It's funny how you learn more.
Is it really funny?
Sure. No, not really funny, but no. But when you look back, like when you get older, it's like you wish you learned a lot of this when you were younger, and then it takes you, like you said, it takes you.
Yeah, but
sometimes it takes you bumps.
Yeah, but it goes right back
bumps
to
on the road. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just stuff that you're just like every day, like going, oh wow.
Yeah, but it goes right back to what we talked about earlier. That's because you're not really old. Like you think you're old, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you think, oh, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, but it's not. You're still learning. You know, some people learn at different, paces or whatever, but you learn later on, and you're still good. You got so much more life to live. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're all like super young in here, and Gina's like not even alive yet. That's how young, that's how young she is. You know. But I think at this time, I want to think. Do you still have it or no?
No.
Gina, can you come over here and you no?
I'll take the phone.
Yeah, here you go. I had to go a little crazy today.
Yeah.
They dropped it. Eddie got me nervous when he said,
Gina,
give my number out to the ladies and stuff.
Gina doesn't want to come in front of the camera. She got that bun.
Yeah.
But I just want to take a few seconds just to give a few more shout outs.
Alright, what we got here?
If you have any comments.
Amaya Hernandez. Omar.
Where we at? Yeah, Manny's tuned in. Manny
Carmen.
said, great, a little late, but I watched the whole thing later. hope for many more episodes. God bless.
Yeah, shout outs to Manny.
That's all I got. I mean, I don't know if did you get something else different? I think maybe because we got it off a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shout outs to everybody who's been tuned in, who's listening and watching and
Sorry
everything.
if I didn't mention any names, yeah.
No, definitely. So I think right now before we end, I just want to get into some more a couple of more personal things, I guess you could say. Not really personal, but this is the Latin soundtrack, and we're all Latinos here. So I just want to ask you some questions.
Sure.
What's Rosa's favorite Latin song?
Oh my, that's not fair. Because I have so many. There is not one.
Come on, there's gotta be
No,
one.
There isn't.
Yeah, what's the first one that comes to your mind right now? Latin song.
Oh my God, Latin song.
Nah, it doesn't have to be one that you dance to or anything. Just a song that bam.
Siempre seré by
By Tito Roja.
Tito
That's
Rojas.
what I'm talking about, yo.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yo, Tito Roja siempre seré.
My music taste is all over the place.
Yeah.
I have so many.
Same here.
That's a great song though. Siempre seré by Tito Rojas. You
Love
probably
that
go
song.
a little bit.
No, I know what it is. Siempre seré. Yeah, you guys don't want me to sing right now.
Oh man. All right. So okay. Your favorite Latin dish?
Latin dish?
Yes.
Sancocho.
Sancocho?
Yes.
On a rainy day.
Yes.
By
Definitely.
who? Who makes the best sancocho?
My mom.
Your mom.
Of
Yo,
course.
no, definitely. Your mommy makes a good
My
sancocho.
father makes it.
Mami, got sancocho. Déjame saber. Yo, mommy makes a good sancocho. Definitely.
You know what's funny? It took me a while to get to like it.
Yeah.
I saw all that stuff in
Really?
there, like everything
So
mixed and
good.
everything. And at first I used to be like, not me. Then I just like, you know what? Yeah.
Wow, some white rice?
Going down, yes.
Some white rice? Huh?
Some pique, a little bit of hot sauce.
Oh, I don't know
I
about
like it with
that.
avocado.
Oh, avocado.
Some
White
bread,
rice and
some
avocado.
some pan del cielo,
Gina's like, yeah,
pan sobao.
Gina's not about that life yet.
Yes, I am. Don't have to blame me.
You're not about the sancocho life?
I had sancocho yesterday. It was raining.
What you talking about?
Oh man, that's great. That's great. All right, so I think right now well actually you know what? Before we go any further, I think that we could probably talk about maybe like some plugs, for Latin Rhythm. How can people find Latin Rhythm? How can people find you?
Oh wait, I have to talk about my Zumba for Autism fundraiser. So next Friday, May 25th, Latin Rhythm Dance Studio teamed up with Hector Rosa, and we are having our first annual Zumba for Autism fundraiser, which all the proceeds are going to the Kentley Center Autism Project.
That's gonna be what's the day of that?
Friday, March 25th.
So Friday, May 25th.
Yes. What did I say?
You said March.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So Friday, May 25th at Latin
Right.
Rhythm Dance Studio.
Minimum donation is $10. I would
Okay.
hope to see all my friends and family there. It's for a good cause. Autism is something that's really dear to my heart, and there's so many programs out there that have experienced state funding, lack of state funding, and the Kennedy Center Autism Project is one of them. So I hope to see all my family and friends at the studio supporting this event. It starts at 7. Minimum donation is $10, and you can just walk in.
Definitely. So again, for those of you who are watching, May 25th, 7 p.m. at the Latin Rhythm Dance Studio at 1418 Barnum Avenue in Stratford. Suma for Autism with instructor Hector Rosa is going to be there. It's going to be a great event. Please come show up. It's going to be a packed house, so get there early. It's going to be a really good time. It's a great cause. I'm excited. If you're coming, make sure you wear a blue shirt.
Yes.
Make sure you wear a nice royal blue shirt for autism.
Yes.
I'm going to be there. I don't know if Danny will be there May 25th, 7 p.m. Zumba for Autism. We'll be there. Gina will be there hanging out. Yeah, it's gonna be a great event. So definitely. Now, how can people find Latin Rhythm Dance Studio if they were looking for just to see what's going on, information?
Okay, so our website is latinrhythmstudio.com.
So Latin Rhythm Studio.
Right.
Okay.
Latinrhythmstudio.com. We're also on Facebook, Latin Rhythm Studio, and Instagram. We're Latin Rhythm Dance. We'll post events and any other information on there pretty much on a daily basis.
Yeah. Okay. So
You can call us 203-362-5009. You can reach us that way.
definitely. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, if you're watching on Facebook right now, as soon as you get up, you need to go over to the Latin Rhythm Dance Studio page and just hit like. Just because you met Rosa, you know her life now, so you gotta go like her page. Definitely like it and follow them on Instagram. It's definitely a beautiful thing. And how could and as far as the classes goes, Tuesdays and
Thursdays. Beginner level is at 6:30. The advanced level is at 7:30.
Okay.
And that's for our
That's for salsa.
Right, for salsa adult
Okay.
classes. Bachata is Mondays at 7:30.
Okay.
And the children classes, again, these kids have been with me for so long, so these classes started back in October.
Okay.
But we will have open enrollment for our new dance season. So
Open enrollment is.
meaning
No, when is it?
it's July, August, September,
Okay.
and the new dance season starts in October.
Perfect. So in about 3 months.
Yes, and we're having our annual show this year, September 8th. Everyone, tickets will be going on sale soon, so
Yes.
keep an eye out.
Yes. If you're watching, if you're listening, please make sure you just check out Latin Rhythm Dance Studio's annual show. This is the 22nd.
22nd.
The 22nd annual show. So please make sure to show love and support. It's definitely going to be another great event by Latin Rhythm Dance Studios. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
And for the viewers and listeners, like check out our pages. We'll be sharing. I'll be sharing.
Definitely, I'm always sharing. Now I know before we went on air, we were talking and bull crapping a little bit, this and that, and you mentioned that you guys hold like socials.
Right, we have dance social one Friday.
So one
every
Friday,
month,
okay.
Every month, yes.
So the dance social, just for those who might be.
It's for all the salseros. It's for our students, but it's open to the public.
They can just come, hang out,
Right.
dance.
Yep, a night of dancing from 9 to midnight.
Okay.
DJ, $5 cover.
And to find out information on that, just follow your pages and they'll be able to know exactly what's going on. So yeah, guys, if you guys are salseros or if you're just learning, you can come in. I think everybody is welcome.
Yes.
And I've actually been to them, and what I like is that the instructors are there as well.
Yeah.
And so if you learn with the instructors, then you go to the social. They're there. You can kind of like show them a little bit of what they taught you. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's a beautiful thing. It's definitely a beautiful thing. Anything else you want to share with us before we
No, I think that's about it.
Danny V, anything?
No, nah.
Yeah. So if you guys want to follow Danny V, he's on Instagram, Facebook.
Yes.
Danny V, Danny Verdejo.
Oh, yeah.
Check him out.
I'm not on the Danny V, but okay. Yeah.
Danny Verdejo.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely check out Danny V to see the things that he's doing, what he has going on. Of course, my name is Eddie Transcendent. But before we go any further, I want to take this time out to of course, and we kind of touched on that a little bit, but I want to just take a few seconds out to just give some advice to the youth. So with everything like that you've been through in your life and the things that you've done, just kind of give a little bit of advice. I'm gonna go ahead and go first. Kind of going off of what I got from you and everything. And for anybody that may be watching on Facebook or listening to the podcast later on, please, if you're young, if you're coming up, if there's a lot of struggle in your home, just understand that struggle doesn't have to be with you forever. If you're willing to work hard, go out there, hustle the right way, get a job, and do things the right way, then the positive starts coming your way. Just continue to work, continue to do the right thing, continue to work, and don't let any opportunities kind of pass you by. If opportunities come your way, if you think that they're good for you, go ahead and take them. You never know where they may go. We're talking about opportunities, and Rosa just she fell in love with the music. She ended up taking a chance and went to go dance. At the Best Land Dance Studio, and that led. I mean, obviously years passed and a lot of dancing and a lot of learning, but that led to an opportunity for her to own the place that taught her everything she knows about salsa. And of course, this would have never happened had she not taken a chance to kind of go out there and do something that she kind of feared a little bit, but she was willing to do. So to the youth out there, be willing to work hard, be willing to have patience, but also be willing to take a chance because you never know the opportunities that are going to come from the chances that you take. Rosa?
She's like, you pretty much covered it all. I always say that.
I thought you were going to go next.
All right, you want me to go next? Or you
So my advice to the youth, is this. Know that your current situation doesn't have to be your final outcome. That you have choices you can make, obviously good or bad, and that you could overcome with patience, hard work, positivity, faith, and you'll have disappointments along the way, but just never give up, because you can get out of any situation that you're in. Just believe.
Beautiful.
Mine's gonna be really short, but your story is very inspiring and
Thank you.
very strong. And I gotta say, for anyone, youth and anyone, just never give up. Keep trying different things in life. When you think about something that you want to try, don't think about it too much. Just give it a try. Observe, and study, and then give it a try. You never know. And like you were saying, so if you're in a situation that you feel like that's your getaway, go ahead and use that as an excuse to get out of the situation that you're in. You know what I mean? And just never give up. Yeah. Sounds good.
Beautiful.
Gina?
Gina's advice to the youth: never go to work with a bun. No, definitely. Well, Rosa, it was definitely a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Super excited.
We need to work on a
Fun
chair
being here.
and a mic for Gina.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna make that happen. No, it was definitely a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Definitely excited to have you as our first guest here at the all-new Top Station and the all-new Connecticut Line Soundtrack podcast.
And that shirt says it all.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Connecticut Love Salsa shirt is beautiful. Yes, definitely
Yes.
beautiful.
Connecticut Love Salsa.
Yes.
There you go.
You can find these at Latin Rhythm Dance Studio.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. If you want to get a Connecticut Love Salsa shirt, go over to the Latin Dance Studio.
Go get your hats. You still got hats?
Yes.
Those hats are amazing.
I only have a few left. I have to
Just go
put
get
them
'em.
on the order.
Go get them before she gets more.
I am going to have more.
Yeah, those hats are amazing. I like them.
No, definitely. No, it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can have you back soon.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about the more things that you have coming up and as things go on. As a matter of fact, once you get your location that you want to get,
Yes,
then we'll come back here and we'll talk about that.
definitely.
Definitely, I think that's definitely something that we should do.
We may have to bring the station to her one day.
I have to bring it over to
We won't tell you our secret.
Definitely. And to everybody watching on Facebook, we do appreciate the love, the support.
Yes,
Thank
thanks
you
for
guys
who came
for
back. Yes.
watching.
And we'll be back next Thursday. Stay tuned for information on my guest for next week. It's amazing. I'm not even gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you later on. So please stay tuned to the guest. Don't go off yet, yeah, stay tuned. Thank you for the love and appreciation. Keep sharing, and we'll see you in a couple of days. I'm off you.